Hey guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter's Reality TV Recaps and Opinions, better known as, and that's my opinion, with Peter Mon. And I finally watched the finale of Season 5 of the Slayton Sisters, better known as 1,000-Pound Sisters, with Amy and Tammy Slayton, their brother Chris, their sisters Amanda and Misty, and Chris's wife Brittany, and everybody else, and Amy's kids Glenn and Gage, and everything. And it was kind of a sad ending. You know, I have to tell you, in the last few months, I have binge watched so many reality shows. In fact, I binge watched the first 4 seasons of 1,000-Pound Sisters so that I could watch this season of 1,000-Pound Sisters. And you know, I just got done watching all 10 seasons of Vanderpump Rules. I didn't watch Vanderpump Rules last night. I'm gonna watch it tonight, and then that'll probably be my video tomorrow. I have like a whole notes app thing of all of my notes of the 10 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, and that's been a video that I've been wanting to make over here, talking about all of my thoughts from all the seasons of Vanderpump Rules. But you know, as an avid watcher of Bravo and all the housewives and things like that, it's so interesting to me, right? That the housewives get like 21 to 24 episodes a series or a season, you know? And Vanderpump Rules, I think the average season is like 21 episodes. You know, some of them go to 25, some of them are 17 to 19, but most of them are around 21 to 24 episodes. And 1,000-Pound Sisters, I think, is 10 episodes, maybe? I mean, I guess I could go in and look, but I think it's like 10 episodes, 8 or 10 episodes. And I was watching it last night, and I was like, I feel like this happens so quick. Is this like a thing with TLC shows? I haven't watched a lot of TLC shows for a long time, but are they all real short? Do they all just have like, you know, 10 episodes? I mean, even like 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, even them, they have like 32 episodes a season and stuff like that. Why are the Slayton Sisters only getting 10 episodes a season? I feel like there's so much more that they could share. And actually, when I was watching this final episode, I was like, I feel like they're kind of speeding through this episode. I don't know if anybody else felt this way. Because last week they were in Pensacola, Florida. The whole family went down there. And this week they came back, and this was the finale of the show. And I start watching it, and it's Amy sitting on the couch talking to Tammy in her house, right? And she's, you know, upset, and she's like, she needs to apologize to Amanda. So if you didn't watch last week, I did a whole coverage of it. But if you didn't watch it, Amy has a total meltdown because people are telling her basically how to parent, okay? It's really, this whole season has been very, very sad watching Amy and what she's dealing with. And as many of you know, I talked to Amy behind the scenes. She actually just messaged me today because I was sending her some love last night watching that episode. And, you know, and she's let me know throughout me watching the season the last couple weeks. She's been like, you know, like I have meltdowns several times throughout the season, and I like am really stressed out about people seeing it publicly and things like that. I think it's very, very obvious that Amy is going through a lot. You know, I've had so many people. I don't even get that many views in my videos over here, right? And I have had so many people that have reached out to me and said, and they say it in the comment sections, they DM me, and they say, I so relate to Amy's story. You know, people think that postpartum goes away after 6 months or whatever, but it can last for years on end. And they're like, I have had postpartum just like Amy. She's going through postpartum. And at the same time that she's going through that, she's going through this divorce, right? Which is really, really hard. You know, there's a couple times where, you know, she said, like, she usually is like very like hardcore, you know, about Michael and just wanting to be done with him and being free with the kids and stuff. But there's several moments, if you capture, and you have to remember a lot of this is in the edit, there's several moments in there where she will say things like, I just can't believe that this is how we ended up, and things like that, you know? And for anybody that's ever gone through a breakup or a divorce or anything, it's devastating. She's going through that, and at the same time, she's raising these 2 little kids, which, like, the family on the trip helps her a lot, but what's interesting to me is that she never had any help from Michael, so she has been like a single mother from the very, very beginning to some extent, you know? I also think what's interesting is, like, at the beginning of the series when you watch it, like, Michael pushes Tammy a lot in her wheelchair. Michael does a lot. I don't know if at some point, if maybe they just showed those scenes and they were editing those to make Michael look a certain way, and he's always been kind of lazy. But, like, at some point when you watch a series and you binge watch it like I do, like, it kind of seems like Michael's just kind of had enough. Like, he's just like, I can't do it anymore, right? And then when the kids come along, one of the saddest scenes to me was when Amanda and Michael are confronting each other, and he says something about the kids, like her leaving and leaving the kids there, and he says something like, he's like, I can't do it when you're not here. And Amanda's like, you can't take care of your own kids when she's not here. And it's kind of like this really sad scene, because what you realize is Michael really has no parenting skills, and in all honesty, neither really does Amy. Like, she's just kind of winging this and trying to do this on her own, you know? And I think the saddest thing is that you see all these people around her. Like, Amanda is a lot more forgiving than I think most people are, right? And so is Tammy. Amy and Tammy especially are trying so hard to help Amy with the parenting, and she constantly hears it as criticism, because she hears it as, I'm the mother I had when I was growing up. Well, I think that most of us in our lives have those issues with our parents. Like, we don't want to turn into our parents to some degree because of this that happened or that happened. I mean, I've had so many friends of mine that have shared those stories through the years that I understand that coming from Amy, right? She's so afraid that she's going to be the parent that she had, and she doesn't want to turn into that. So when anybody tries to give her some feedback or some suggestions, she hears it that way, right? The reality is, Amy isn't just learning to parent. Amy is obviously going through something, whether it's postpartum or something else, okay? She's going through something major. She is going through a divorce. She's got 2 kids that are very close in age, and yes, she did want that, but it's got to be crazy difficult at the same time. She's got all this family stuff going on at the same time, right? It's a lot. It is really, really a lot. And I will tell you, at the end of it, they talk about Amy having a therapist. So that's where the scene is that Amy has a therapist, and Tammy says, well, I'm glad, this is something that you need to talk to your therapist about. I'm glad that you're seeing this therapist. Amy acknowledged to me that she is seeing somebody and that she is getting help, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that, I mean, not for me, obviously, but for Amy, that she is reaching out. And Tammy even says in there, as much as I hated or was resistant to going to a therapist, it really did help. And to see that kind of whole cathartic experience come all the way through for Tammy is amazing. The rest of the show is pretty much about the passing of Tammy's husband, Caleb, which was just devastating to watch, you know. Somebody put in the comment section of my video yesterday, I kind of made a joke about this on my drama channel, but I just want to be very, very clear about this. Somebody put a comment on my video, and they said that they were not aware that Caleb had passed away, and that they were like a big watcher of 1,000-Pound Sisters, and that I spoiled that for them, okay? I'm just going to put this out as a disclaimer. I think I said this in one of my very first videos over here, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to spoil shows left and right. If you watch this channel, I'm going to talk about things that happen on shows. I'm not, like, this isn't a spoiler-free channel. I'm telling you what's going on, okay? Not to mention that I don't know how you watch this show, and I mean, even if you just Google search it, it comes right up that Caleb had passed away, and it was really like a lot of what this season was like, where they were headed towards at the end, and why it was so important for the show to show the relationship between Caleb and Tammy. It was devastating to watch. I don't know. Caleb was just such a gentle, kind soul, and just to see that whole story kind of play out, I think for me, and really seeing like one of the last scenes of him at the carnival and winning a stuffed animal for Tammy, and like that being his level of enjoyment, you know, at the end of his life, of being able to go to this carnival in a wheelchair and getting his friends to all go down there, and him being excited, and you know, saying something to Tammy on the phone about, well, maybe I'll have like a cheeseburger or something. You know, I don't know. It just kind of made me sad. You know, it made me to a very deep degree very grateful for the life that I have. And, you know, and I think Tammy was an amazing wife to Caleb, and he was an amazing husband to her. And it was really hard to watch. And the memorial scene and all that kind of stuff was very hard to watch. I thought it was so sweet. And I love the fact, because I think it's so real, one of the things that's so attractive to me about 1,000-Pound Sisters is it's so real. You know, I watch all these reality shows where it's so highly edited and people are afraid to say or show themselves. And it's like, from the very get-go, Tammy and Amy have always showed themselves, you know. And with Amanda and Misty, Amanda gets these butterflies because Tammy wants to release these butterflies at Caleb's memorial, and they're like in ice, and they're kind of joking about it. I mean, like, that's the real stuff that goes on before funerals and memorials and stuff, you know? Like, that's it. I can remember when my mom passed away, you know, my friends and I driving around listening to my mom's favorite music, you know, telling funny stories about my mom, you know? Those are the things that get you through the hard times. And then seeing, you know, at the service, and Amy says, everybody gather around Tammy. It was just such a moment, right? Now, I have heard that people have said, or that Tammy has claimed, or somebody has claimed, that production really tried to focus a lot about the memorial. I don't know to what extent or what, you know, whatever. I thought it was very, very sweet, the whole situation, how they did that, and the reading of the poem just absolutely got me. The Sunflower poem, just, it so got me. And hearing his song and stuff like that. And even when Tammy said, I was crying through that whole thing, and when Tammy said, he can't sing, but he can rap, like, that moment was so, like, such a sweet moment. You could really, truly tell on what level she really loved Caleb. And I think also when she said he was my best friend, I lost my best friend, you know, like, I don't know, it's just such a sweet moment. Then to see Amy and Tammy do the balloon at the very end to, you know, acknowledge that they were moving on with their lives and moving through it, you know, and they couldn't get the thing lit, and Chris is in the car, and he's like, if there's one thing that these two, they can never get anything to go, and then it goes off, you know, and I loved how the season ended. I thought it was fantastic, you know. I really hope, like, going forward, like, I don't know how much truth there is to that, of how production was pushing certain things to seem a certain way at the memorial, but if production was smart, 3 things production would do. Number 1, pay them a lot more money, because I think they're worth it. Number 2, they would give them longer seasons. I don't think 10 episodes is enough to tell their story. I think they need 20 episodes to tell their story. They could have split that final episode into 2 episodes. They could have Amy coming back and apologizing. And when they were sitting around the kitchen table, and, you know, Amanda came in and she said, I really hope Amy doesn't bring this up, because this is the time and place. Like, we're here. This is the right time. We're here for Tammy and things like that. And then Amy brought it up, and, you know, and Amanda said to her, like, I'm not mad at you anymore. It's squashed. Are we done? And they were joking about, like, we fought as kids, but we've never, like, thrown hands before. And she said something to Amy about, like, girl, don't you know how to throw hands? Like, you tried to bite me like your kid, like Gage or Glenn or something like that. And they made a joke out of it. And that's one of the things I love, you know? So the 3 things, if the production was smart, that they would do is that they would pay them a lot more money, because they're worth a lot more money. You know, they're really showing really authentic, vulnerable sides of themselves. And I think they're inspiring a lot of people. Number 2, they would make the seasons a lot longer. And number 3, they would not edit the shows. They would just allow the shows to be as they are and not try to edit certain parts of the family. Because it's the genuine, authentic moments that really get me, that I'm like, oh my God, that is so me and my family, or that is so me and one of my friends, you know, that really touches my heart. We don't need to class this up and make it pretty and I'll put it in a box, you know, for everybody to see. It's not Vanderpump Rules. It's not The Housewives, you know. What makes this show so fantastic is Amy, Tammy, their relationship, and their relationship with her family. That is what makes this show so real, so authentic, and so fantastic. And I can't wait till the next season, and I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there will be one. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.